Welcome, dying kind, to the end of our race. Now, optimism is a grand thing and is incredibly useful in most situations, but now it seems useless and abysmal to have a look at current events. Politics is a shambles, the world is on fire, everyone wants to harm or kill everyone else, and it's 2 degrees nearly warmer than it should be. We are in a pressure cooker that is exploding constantly. And I just think, fuck, that's not too good, because we were estimated at this point by Cavillion to be progressing, to be a nearly tier 2 society. Meaning, we would no longer be using fossil fuels, we would have rejected nuclear war, we would have thrown away every form of weapon, we would now only be using energy directly from stars and would be using Tesla's ideas to create Dyson spheres. But what are we doing? We are fighting on whether to elect an alleged rapist and muppet or an alleged rapist and dickhead into a world superpower. We're putting our focus on banning a kids dancing app, and we don't even care that politicians are ruining the creatives and the world is on literal fire. Welcome to the end. To sound dire, but it's true. Maybe not the definitive end, but definitely an end of whatever era we are in now. And definitely the end of the familiarity we know now is the last time we'll have a sequence of events so similar to this one, because we've spiraled so deeply and are free-falling now that recovery to this state is almost impossible. Whether we'll get to a better one is still up in the air, but we definitely won't be anything like this, which is a good thing, which is a bad thing. We don't want to be like this, but we don't want to be worse, which is where we're heading right now. So I think the main thing to take from this is the societal spectrum, and how society goes is entirely dependent and entirely dissociated from you. So of course you want to be living a righteous, right path life, but if you are living in that way in opposition to society, then you are not going to benefit society. But also, if everyone is doing that, then that becomes society. So it really conflicts itself. So we do not know what to do. But ultimately, it is accept the end and know we're all going to die and everything has gone to shit. But I digress. Hope, maybe, but realistically performative progression. But on note of that, it's definitely time for some type of complete flip around if we want any form of recovery. But complete flips are never done right and never really happen at all, so that's just wishful thinking, which probably won't happen. So it's best to neglect the ideologies of progression, even though that sounds like a terrible idea, and accept defeat, because we, as human beings, as the top of the food chain and the almighty creators of God and everything, really fucked a good bit of shit up. Really fucked a good bit of shit up. Really. But now we've done that, there's no reverse button, there's no going back, so I think it's time we sit back, lean back, have a beer, look out and think, wow, we did this, and acknowledge the success in our failure. It is absolutely abysmal, but by God is it beautiful. It's no prime fire where we're staring out as the sun slowly dies beautifully. It's no sort of singing solemnly into the collapse of the universe. It really is every man for themselves screaming at every other man in the face of self-destruction. But can't it be beautiful in some way? Because we did it! We brought upon ourselves absolute near obliteration, and if I'm honest, that's a feat, because it's really hard to do, and usually the hard things take lots of good choices. But this one particular hard thing has took many, many very bad choices made exactly right, and we've brought ourselves to the ceasing of our own morality. Congrats, guys. Woo! You're dying. I'm dying. The world is dying. The sun is dying. The universe is dying. Everything's going to hell, but it's grand.